Well, we're going to start off the week with a day, maybe even two, of some severe weather before our temperatures begin to drop. We're likely going to be seeing some frost and freeze advisories across the Dakotas and Minnesota by midweek. But will those cold temperatures last? We'll take a look at it right now. So we're going to start off the day on Monday with just a few showers, maybe across parts of North Dakota, maybe western parts of South Dakota as well. But notice the Storms Prediction Center has got a marginal risk across western South Dakota and kind of into central parts of North Dakota. That's a 1 out of 5 on the risk scale for the potential for some severe weather. And mainly what we're going to be looking at is for some strong winds, perhaps some large hail with this. As we put this into motion, we're going to be seeing some storms developing essentially across Wyoming and moving into western parts of South Dakota and moving northeastward through the overnight hours. Here we are right around 9-10 p.m. or so. This is central time, so obviously put that back 1 hour for those of you in mountain time, but moving through western parts of South Dakota and then moving northeast. And notice how those storms are kind of following that marginal risk area, moving to the northeast, moving in through New Salem, Bismarck, and eventually kind of heading towards that Minot area as we get just a little bit later into the night. It's going to be a late night thunderstorm rolling through parts of North Dakota. As we can see here, we're at 3-4 a.m. By the time those storms roll through that area. Now, as we get to Tuesday morning, again, some of those storms may be lingering across northern parts of North Dakota, northeast North Dakota there. Perhaps a few storms a little bit further south into south central parts of South Dakota. Now, notice for a Tuesday, at least for now, the Storms Prediction Center just has this marginal risk just barely touching South Dakota. I do think at this point this is probably going to be pulled just a little bit further north to be including at least eastern parts of South Dakota. Who knows? Maybe even there's a chance for some of that to be pulled into North Dakota as well. We'll see how things develop, but I think we've got the chance for some storms at least to fire up across South Dakota here. You can see as we get again into the late afternoon hours of Tuesday, some storms firing up across the central and eastern parts of South Dakota, and then eventually moving eastward through the overnight hours. So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll see what the Storms Prediction Center eventually does, but I think this is probably going to be pulled northward, at least, like I said, at least into eastern parts of South Dakota, probably even southwest Minnesota. Maybe the question is, how far north will they pull that? Again, the main threat with these storms going into Tuesday evening is going to be the damaging winds and probably some areas of large hail as well. So what's going to be kicking off these storms? Well, it's this big low pressure system that's been building out here and has been creating out ahead of it this huge ridge that's been giving us the record-breaking temperatures over the weekend, record-breaking high temperatures and record-breaking low temperatures. We've had record warmth for overnight lows going into the weekend, areas in the 90s, high dew points. Man, it's just been a beautiful start to October, but we do have this low pressure system out here that's going to be moving east. It's going to be pulling the cold air with it eventually, and that's going to be causing some of those storms to develop as we get into Monday. As we get into Monday evening, you can see how that stronger upper level winds begins to push into Wyoming and eventually into South Dakota as well as we get into the overnight hours. Look at those winds really start to build across to South Dakota and pushing into North Dakota. And that's really what's going to be kicking off these storms for Monday evening and into the late hours Monday night and into early Tuesday morning. Now, of course, that trough is going to continue to push eastward going into Tuesday as well. And you can see we still continue to have some pretty strong winds pushing into South Dakota. And so that's why I think at least we're probably going to be seeing that marginal risk be pulled just a little bit further north because we're expecting some of those stronger mid-level winds to push in there, a little bit of a jet streak that should help kick off some of these storms into the afternoon and evening hours on Tuesday. So we'll see how that develops And then, of course, that little system or that jet stream kicks off to the north and east through the overnight hours. So we're probably looking at those storms kind of riding off to the north and east as well. And then as we get into Wednesday, particularly Wednesday night and into Thursday, here's where that cold air really, really begins to come in. Look at that jet stream pulling down all this cold air out of Canada. And also as we get through Wednesday night and into Thursday, of course, we're going to be having those northwesterly winds. They're really going to crank up, and that's going to be pushing in that cold air as well. So, man, look at this on Thursday. We're going to be seeing the wind gusts perhaps 40, 45 miles per hour out of the west-northwest, especially across the eastern parts of North Dakota, northern parts of Minnesota, perhaps even sinking down into southern portions of Minnesota as well. So it's really, really going to be a bit of a breezy day throughout the day on Thursday. As we get into Thursday night and into Friday morning, those winds dip down just a little bit. And then, of course, through the heating of the day on Friday, those winds will probably pick back up, especially across parts of Minnesota. We're going to be looking at those gusts gusting up to 40 miles per hour once again for Friday. Now, maybe call me crazy, but I'm actually going to use the American model, the GFS here, because it feels like that's been doing a little bit better job here over the last couple of days. But anyway, at any rate, again, what we're looking at here as we get into Monday evening, those storms developing across Wyoming and pushing across western parts of South Dakota and moving into North Dakota through the overnight hours. And eventually those storms pushing off into Canada once we get to about 3 or 4 a.m.-ish. But we're going to be looking at maybe some rain showers, perhaps even a few rumbles of thunder out ahead of it. That I wouldn't completely rule that out by the time we get to about 7 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday. And so as we get a little bit later into the afternoon, we're going to be kind of keeping an eye on, obviously, that eastern South Dakota, as I've mentioned before, just to make sure that we get some clearing, the clouds clear out, and that we get enough warm temperatures in there to allow that heat to really take hold and to make get that atmosphere unstable enough for these storms to develop. Now, again, you can see how this particular model wants to develop those storms across eastern South Dakota and push them into southwest Minnesota, west central parts of Minnesota as well. I do think, again, there's that possibility maybe some of these storms might even pull just a little bit further north than that. We'll keep an eye on things and see how it develops, but nevertheless, that's kind of the areas that we're going to be watching. Now, obviously, as we get into the evening hours, we're going to be losing that daytime heating really, really quickly this time of year. So I think those storms, by the time you get to about 9, 10 p.m., more than likely they're not going to be severe, but we will still see a line of or an area of thunderstorms pushing east through the overnight hours. So by Wednesday morning, we're going to be seeing some lingering moisture, particularly across the northern reaches of our area, probably more so northeast North Dakota into northern parts of Minnesota, as we have some moisture, like I said, kind of on the backside of this storm system. It's just going to be kind of a maybe bit of a cloudy, some scattered showers, that kind of a day going into Wednesday and even into Wednesday night and into Thursday as well. We continue to see these showers, again, mainly across eastern parts of North Dakota, northern half of Minnesota, throughout the day on Thursday. So, in fact, Thursday even almost looks like more of a rainy day across Minnesota. Now, that should help, especially Thursday morning, to keep those low temperatures up. So even though we're going to be having a little bit of a punch of cold air Wednesday night and into Thursday morning, that's when that cold air starts to sink in, because we're expecting some of that cloud cover to kind of hang around. That should insulate us enough to not let those temperatures drop. But it does look like maybe by Thursday night and into early Friday morning, perhaps, maybe some of these northern areas clear out enough that perhaps we see some of those temperatures drop to get some frost across the northern areas on Friday. And then I think as we get into more so Friday night and into Saturday, again, you can see Friday, maybe some lingering showers across eastern parts of Minnesota. But we do have this high pressure system that eventually takes hold and really begins to clear things out. So it looks like the best chance for seeing some frost and some freeze, areas of below freezing temperatures, is going to be Friday night and into Saturday morning, especially across northern parts of Minnesota. And I would think very likely across the Arrowhead region, across that northeastern parts of Minnesota by Saturday morning. So let's go ahead and take a look at the temperatures here over the course of the week. So your Monday morning lows, look at this, still really, really warm. I mean, we're talking lows in the upper 60s to near 70 across parts of our area, across the eastern parts of our area. A little more seasonable, perhaps further out west, but wow, we're starting off the day warm for Monday. Now our high temperatures still going to be in the upper 80s to near 90 or around 90 across that southeastern section of our area. 80s all across to Minnesota, except for maybe the far northwestern parts of Minnesota. And then as you get a little bit further to the north and west, those high temperatures drop down to about the mid 60s for Monday. Now, even as we get into Tuesday morning, look at this, our morning low, still really, really warm. We continue to have that south wind and a lot of humidity that continues to be in here. And that's why there's that possibility still, obviously, of some severe weather going into Tuesday. But that's your morning lows, still in the 60s, in the upper 40s to around 50 out in the west. Now, your Tuesday highs are going to be just a little bit cooler, perhaps a little bit cloudier down in the southeastern parts of our area and across southern parts of Minnesota. But still, we're looking at the low to mid 80s, perhaps even upper 80s across southeastern parts of Minnesota as well. But then again, as you kind of move off to the north and west, those high temperatures get cooler. We're only looking at the upper 50s to around 60 for that far northwestern areas of North Dakota for Tuesday. Now, of course, Wednesday becomes a little bit more like fall. We're seeing those low temperatures in the upper 30s to the northwest to around 50 down in the southeast. High temperatures, we're only looking at, I mean, still, gosh, it's still going to be nice down there. Low to mid 70s down in the southeast. And then we're looking at mid 50s for some areas across the north. Now, Thursday morning lows, this is according to the National Weather Service, and they do have some colder air across the north here Thursday morning. At this point, I think there's still going to be enough cloud cover that we're not going to get quite that cold. We might see some frost. I don't know that we're going to get to freezing. We'll keep an eye on that. I just think there's going to be too much cloud cover for those areas across the north to get that cold that quickly. But we'll see how things pan out for Thursday. But our highs for Thursday, we're only looking at about the mid to upper 40s across northern parts of Minnesota. And ultimately, look at this, high temperatures, not real warm, 60 to low 60s down in southwestern parts of South Dakota. Friday, I think maybe looks a little more reasonable, especially across northern parts of our area where we're going to be seeing close to that freezing temperatures, I think. Like I said, mainly across the north, maybe across northeastern parts of Minnesota as well. Friday, high temperatures struggling to get to 50 up in the northeast. As you get down to the southwest, we're getting into the upper 60s for highs. And then Saturday, I think, ultimately, I do feel these temperatures are probably going to drop, where we're going to be looking at frost advisories across northern parts of Minnesota. We're probably going to be seeing some pretty good freezing conditions across the Arrowhead region on Saturday morning. Now, this is the latest from the National Weather Service, but I think I don't know. I guess from some of the things I've been seeing, I think Saturday morning's probably going to be a little bit more, going to be kind of that colder time frame, just because we should be losing that cloud cover. So we'll have to watch to see how some of that cloud cover plays out in regards to those overnight low temperatures going into Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night perhaps as well, and just see how those frost and freeze advisories take place. So we'll keep you up to date on that, but will it stick around? Will that cold air stick around? Well, actually not really. Let's take a look. So here's that trough with the cold air that's going to be sliding into our region going into the later half of the week, causing and creating all that cold air, bringing in all that cold air from the north. But look at this. Look what happens behind it as this continues to eventually push eastward. We've got this big ridge that begins to develop and slides eastward. And that's going to be allowing some warmer temperatures back into our region for next week, the way it's looking. So while we do get a shot of cold air, looks like it's not going to stick around, so that's good. Sorry if I gave some of you a scare last week, but look at this. We're going to wind up with some warm temperatures once again. And in fact, taking a look at maybe some 850 millibar temperature anomalies as we take a look at this for this time of year. I mean, they're off the charts with some of these models. They're up there. So who knows, by the time we get into next week, while we're going to be dealing with some frost and freeze advisories later part of this week, maybe as we get into next week, perhaps we're going to be dealing with some record-breaking temperatures again. We'll see how things pan out. So there's your bad news, good news. Perhaps some bad news, depends how you look at it, is that we might have some severe weather going across our area for Monday and Tuesday. Bad news, we're going to be seeing some cold weather sink into our region. Well, it is the beginning of October after all, so of course we're going to be seeing that. But the good news is at least the cold weather isn't going to stick around. We're going to be seeing temperatures rebound the way it looks right now into next week, so we can look forward to that at least. All right, everybody, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and hit the bell button as well. With the potential for severe weather, we'll make sure and have the live stream up over the next couple of days so that you can keep track of the latest weather forecast, the models, satellite, and any severe weather warnings that are issued. And we'll be keeping an eye on the chat for you, so make sure you follow along and ask any questions on there that you might have. All right, everybody, for Region Weather Live, I'm meteorologist Brad Warner. Everybody have a good day.